Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to invite you all to take part in the valedictory session for the T10KT workshop on engineering physics. So let's start the valedictory session by inviting some of you to share your thoughts.
Dignitary of the dais, all IIT team of KT10 workshop, and all the participants who are gathered here across overall India. First of all, I am thankful to IIT Bombay arranged such a nice event that provide one platform to all the physics teacher is gathered here and giving a moment to sharing the thought, also giving a moment to interact with the IIT faculty, and absolutely that provide a new approach to see towards the physics and that are very helpful for engineering student. I lots of thankful to IIT Bombay and hopes in future we have such a platform to sharing the thoughts. Thank you.
Good evening to all. I am Mahendran from Madurai, Tamil Nadu, Tyagaraja College of Engineering. So I like to thank the IITB and the senior professors of IITB physics professors. So I really enjoyed the lectures delivered by the senior professors. So just I like to list out some of the plus and minus of this workshop so that that will be much useful in the future, right? So some of the pluses that we observed is that the way in which the lectures delivered by in fact all the three professors, Professor Diban Kos and Professor Shiva Prasad and Professor Suresh, really wonderful lectures. And I like so not even one person energy level has been reduced to Professor Diban Kos that he's a senior man and he always used he just always used to run here and there, and really, so hats up to you, sir. Really good. Okay. So another interesting observation that I observed here is that their body language is simply super. In particular, Professor Supra, he's always used to this and that. Really, I enjoyed Professor. Really, so I mean, this is the only way that my humble suggestion is that this is the only way that we can attract more number of students while teaching this physics. And really, your food and hospitality is awesome. The food, really good food, and I like to thank one interesting part. The volunteer I just missed. He's there. So what is his name actually? Joy, really is terrific. His service and hospitality is terrific, really. Just really, yeah. So whenever I just used to meet him and I need to have this and that, immediately answered all the queries and fine. Some of the minuses that we observed here in the workshop is this. I'm very sorry, professor, the senior professor. Please don't mistake me. This is a humble suggestion that these suggestions can be met out in the future workshop. That since we are all teaching the engineering physics to the engineering students, my observation is that immediately there are the school students immediately after entering from the school, they are entering into the college, that they used to ask why physics is engineering. So we should be in a position to answer this question. That say for example, of course we derived the equations, Schrödinger equation. We know what is Compton effect. We know the definition of Compton effect. But the thing is, why this Compton effect is studied in physics? Why this particular subject is included in engineering? Who is going to answer this question? So we are all we came here to get the input to answer for all these questions. So I just, let it be solid physics or quantum mechanics or whatever. Of course, this morning, Professor, I was happy that Professor Suresh, he started his lecture by giving some of the materials used in various applications. So in that way, I guess these can be explored to the students that, say for example, magnetic material can be used in recording observation, recording industry, and this can be used to this and that applications, of course. So what we expect in the future, maybe in the December workshop, is that the senior professors can give more application-oriented lecture so as to, reach the students in a useful way. Okay. So thank you for your patience, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor, for that input. We'll definitely include it in our main workshop. Thank you.
Respected sirs, dear friends, I should, or rather we should thank you because I'm speaking on behalf of all the participants. We are just thanking profusely IIT Bombay just to gather here a mini India. All the people from different parts of the country are here. It is a great chance. Sir, with most humility, we would say that we are nobody to judge you. You sit very high. You sit very high. We are very fortunate, or we were very fortunate to hear your lectures. We have heard your names. You were just fantastic. Just fantastic, MDs. It was a great honor for us and it's a great privilege for us to listen to you and to watch you. And we would be definitely looking forward on some other pretext coming to IIT Bombay. My friends there, I just don't remember, Ajay is there. There's all these, my dear friends, they did a lot. They were all the time they were running, they're doing the things very sharply, and it was just fantastic. So we must again, Dr. Mukta, I should thank Dr. Mukta profusely for arranging such a nice kind of gathering. And I said it is a mini India. That's a great thing you have here in IIT Bombay, mini India over here. So thank you very much, sir. With all the respects to all of you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Would you like to say something now, sir?
Well, I really don't know what to say, because whatever I had to say or which I am trained to say, no, I have already said, during these days, so, I'm reminded of one of the, I'm very much interested in music. So there was one great tabla player, when he was given an honor by the government. Somebody asked him that, when you're giving the award, can you give a speech on this particular thing? So he says, well, giving a speech was never taught by my guru, so that's something which I cannot do. What was taught by my guru, that's the only thing which I can do. So it's the same thing, Anyway, I think Mr. Mohan who raised one particular question, so I thought, at least that's one particular thing which I would personally like to answer this thing. Because these questions keep on coming often, that, why we study physics, or for that matter, why we study anything. So, and I am little blunt about this particular thing, because I am facing these questions even from our IIT students. And I am reminded of a particular statement which was made to me, when I was attending a workshop outside India, when somebody said that we do not know how to teach a student when we do not know what the student is going to become. And this is probably true that, I don't think we want to teach our students to become something which is exactly having a bookish knowledge, which they should be only learning what is given in the book. After all, what is education? Whatever is written in the book probably will become obsolete after 5 years or maybe 10 years. Okay, so if I just keep on teaching what is in the book, okay, that's probably of no relevance for the education. See, what is important for education is that we develop our mind, we develop our way of thinking, we develop the way we look at the nature. I think that's much more important aspect of learning, rather than just learning subjects what is written in the book. And generally, I always tell, my first lecture in IIT, first year, whenever I teach, I always comment on this particular aspect, that at least I don't think there is any other subject better than modern physics which teaches this particular aspect of how to think. Because eventually you realize that a well-established theory, you are all brought up into one particular way of thinking. And even after 105 years or 110 years, when I say that time is a frame-dependent quantity, people get a shock, because you're not used to thinking in that particular fashion. Basically, education is that you must go beyond, you must aim higher in thinking, develop thinking beyond what is your existing knowledge. And in that sense, I don't think there is any course better than the physics course, because there you just see how things change. So I generally do not like, of course, as I say, that every question has a meaning and every question has to be answered. And if somebody has a genuine doubt, I always like to answer. But I sometimes reflect and say that probably this question is not because they do not like to study physics. Probably this is a reflection on me that I am not telling them properly what is important in physics and why physics should be learned. And how this particular thinking, how this particular study is enhancing their thinking capability. So I have always felt that if I emphasize on this particular aspect, see, look at this particular aspect, how a well-defined theory by thought of certain scientists could, thinking totally in abstract way, there are certain thoughts which you can, even now if you talk, people get shocked. Okay, even, I'm pretty sure many of you who are of some of the statements which I have made, people, feel somewhat uneasy about that particular thing. That's what actually is the thinking, and that's what actually is actual learning. Because eventually, you have to learn from your mind. Okay, you're not to learn from what teacher has taught you. So that's the way I would like to say. Personally, it's always a pleasure for me to interact with my colleagues elsewhere in the world. I always say that, I'm somewhat spoiled because, I tend to teach IIT students, which requires slightly different way of teaching. And though I have given lectures in some of the colleges, I have never taught a course in a college or university outside IIT Bombay, at least in India. So it's very interesting and important for us to understand what is your thinking. My only suggestion to Dr. Mukta will be that, I think we should organize one informal gathering session where, people just talk whatever their mind, it comes to their mind. It need not be in a very formal way, where everyone can say whatever they want. At least we should also learn what type of problems you are facing, because, probably I am telling always, this is the problem I face when I teach the student, this is the way I solve it. But I think it's also, see, information exchange is always mutual. See, from your information, I would also like to learn what type of problems the students are facing and how we can do it together to solve their problems better. Okay, with these words, I will say thank you very much. It was really a pleasure for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Shiva Prasad. Regarding the interaction and the exchange of ideas, I'd like to remind everybody that you are all on the Moodle, and the Moodle forum is open for you to exchange your ideas amongst yourselves and with the faculty of IIT Bombay. So do become active on Moodle. It is alive and kicking. Now I'd like to invite the chief guest for the occasion, Professor Gadre, to the dais.
Very good evening to all of you, and it is indeed my privilege to be at this concluding function of this course. The teachers that you have before you are very reputed teachers, so you're very lucky that you have been able to interact with them over the last maybe 5 days, I think. They are known all over the country, and in fact all over the world, for their achievements both in the pedagogy of the subject and also in the subject itself, contributions to the subject. So consider yourself very fortunate to have been able to deal with them face to face and talk to them and interact with them, learn from them over the last week. I would not like to take too much of your time, save to say a few things that I feel are very important in my the reason why I'm standing before you here today. I'm representing the Center for Distance Engineering Education. We have this center which essentially deals with educational outreach in the country. And I would like to inform all of you that IIT Bombay has taken more than one initiative to carry out this important role or responsibility, I would call it, of educational outreach in the country. What you're seeing here is one of the initiatives, and a very successful initiative. This is one amongst some other workshops that were held. They are called the Teach Thousands of Teachers, T10KT, Teach 10,000 Teachers workshops. And they've been organized in subjects. In fact, I've also had the privilege of being a part of one myself some time ago. I must say it's a very unique experience, because here, as somebody said, it's a mini India kind of experience. You actually get to feel that you can talk to people all over the country, and you actually do that. I mean, it's not fictitious. You're actually talking to people all over the country, and when you people go back and when you coordinate the actual T10KT workshop sometime later this year, you will feel that experience of being able to talk not only to faculty colleagues all over the country, but also to students. So, other people, other attendees in the other centers. So it's a unique experience of being able to learn from some of the very best in the country in the field, but also to be able to talk to many people in the country, who are like you, aspiring to learn the subject, or in fact, many of you, I'm sure, are experts in the subject at some level, and you would probably like to enhance your pedagogical skills or your perspectives on the subject. Believe me, this is a unique experience, both in terms of the pedagogy, the content, and also the technology behind it. So it's a good idea for you to also look carefully at the technology that goes behind this whole thing. It's very unique, and I think we are very proud at IIT Bombay to be able to have this. Professor D.B. Phatak has been a pioneer in establishing this technology and making it available all over the country. I also want to share with you one more thought. It's very important, like we take steps for educational outreach, it's also important that you encourage your institutions to help us make these steps successful. So while it's like saying that, we can of course take the thirsty person to the water, but we cannot force somebody to drink water. So the same thing happens here. It's very important when you go back to your centers to ensure that when you actually conduct this workshop at your respective center, the participants in the workshop are attentive locally, they participate in the assignments that our esteemed colleagues give, and you reciprocate by making the very best of this opportunity. We can provide the opportunity, I'm sure all our staff, Dr. Mukta Atrey and all the staff working with her, are keen to make this a very unique experience for you, but you are very central in making this successful at your respective centers. So you have to take the initiative to make sure that the participants in your center are very active in carrying out the assignments that have been prescribed, or perhaps in answering questions, or in whatever manner the instructors choose to engage the sessions. The participants need to be very cooperative, and you need to ensure that. So that's why you're here. You're here to get a feel of what you can expect in the workshop, and you need to make the very best of this opportunity and help your colleagues at your respective centers to do the same. These are the few words which I would like to share with you, and we look forward to your participation in our educational outreach programs, both of this kind, where you're the Teach 10,000 Teachers kind of initiative, but also the others, the many other projects that we have, NPTEL, the Talk to a Teacher, the current massive open online courses, and the CDEEP central repository also, and all these different initiatives. We expect that you will help us in making these more successful in future. Thank you so much.
We will be distributing the certificates now. I'd like to take this chance to thank the esteemed faculty on stage and all of you participants for participating in this workshop. Thank you very much on behalf of T10KT.